Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Miss Lisa, and this is my YouTube channel where we talk about everything I want to, science and math. And today we are talking about physical science. This is a video playlist made specifically for the kids who are in physical science at East Paulding High School. And so if you're on the wrong playlist, you need to find the right one. All right, if you're on the tutoring playlist, go find the other physical science. And I'll make sure that the names are different. All right, so there's a graphic organizer. If you're out today, you'll find the link to it on Canvas. You can print it out, and but if you wait and just write down the answers and come back and get it from me in class, it'll have pictures on it. The ones that I do for the kids have pictures. See all those cool pictures? The ones that are on Canvas, no fun pictures. So you need to you can just write the answers down. Don't bother printing it out. All right, so here we're going to do our first unit. We're going to start learning real physical science. So what is science? Anybody have a guess of what scientia means in Latin? Anybody learned this in your previous learning anywhere? No? Scientia or science means knowledge. Knowledge in Latin. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can draw. Oh, not that. I'm going to have to do it over here. Hold on one second. This is making for good TV. It's this weird, it's kind of, see, look, I touched draw, but it went to design. I'm going to do red. That should work. Okay, let's try it. Science means knowledge. I think I have to write right here. Hey, it's doing better. It's starting to straighten out. Maybe it just needs to be used. Okay, that looks terrible. That's okay. It says knowledge. So there's three categories of science. Any guesses? Any hints from the drawings? What are the three areas of science? Look at your little drawings there. What do you think they are? So knowledge goes to the guy with the graduation cap on. So draw a little line to him. The three areas of science are, do you see the ant or whatever kind of bug that is? It's life science that deals with living things. What earth science, I think this is the one we want. Nope, wrong one. Earth science deals with earth and space. If I really spread it out, it's kind of working. So weird. All right, and then what we're studying, physical science, deals with matter and energy, and it's chemistry and physics. So we're going to spend the first half of the semester learning chemistry, the second half learning physics. So some of you have already had chemistry, and the first half might be really boring, but you might make really good grades. But then by the second half, nobody's had the physics, and it'll be more interesting or harder for those of you who have already had chemistry. Now, what is technology? Technology is the application. The application of science to help people. So the person who made the iPhone applied technology of electromagnetic radiation, electricity, chemistry, lots of different branches of these science. They applied it and gave us iPhones. Yay! Or whatever smartphone you have. Yay! Okay, any questions so far? All pretty easy. Pretty understandable. Okay, next one, scientific method. Y'all know I've got three boys who are in college. The middle one, Eli, is just adamant that it is dumb to teach the scientific method at the start of every class. He's like, they have already learned it. Why make them learn it again? And I'm like, because it's really important and it's on the test. That's why I don't want anything to be on the test that I didn't teach you. Just in case your science background was terrible and you didn't learn. Oh, this is not going to let me do it. Can you scroll this up, Miss Olivier? Mm-hmm. If you click on it, it should scroll up. There you go. Very good. All right. So the scientific method, let's make sure I can write again. Yep. So what is the scientific method? Just like Eli said, you've already learned it. What do you do first? State the problem. See, I knew you knew it. State the problem. And see our scientists there? I think he's really cute. I love the little scientist, Josh Drew. Gather, what do you do next? Gather information. Awesome. Form a, starts with an H, it sounds sciencey, form a hypothesis. Next, you test the, sounds really sciencey, starts with an H, hypothesis. Test the hypothesis. Sorry about this is so messy. I'm learning how to write on this board. And if I spell things wrong, that's pretty bad. Oh, and I need to go ahead and confess to y'all, I'm slightly dyslexic. So if I suddenly write a word in mirror writing or upside down, don't feel shy about telling me, Miss Blackburn, you wrote that backwards. Because if I start hurrying, I will do it. So some of y'all have your own little learning disabilities, and see, you can overcome them just like I did. I can be inspirational to you. I'm a science teacher, made good grades all in high school and college, and even with being slightly dyslexic. I had a third grade teacher who mocked me. When I would write things backwards and upside down and all that, you already know my first name's Lisa, she'd write on the paper, Lazy Lisa. And then if my last name was Cash, and yes, I am related to Johnny, she'd write Careless Cash. So I don't think that's really best practices for teaching, to mock the disabled student. But hey, it worked out. I made it here. I'm okay. I don't even hate her. Okay, next, analyze the, what do you get in experiment? Starts with a D. Data. Right, analyze the data. Do you say data or data? I say data. But some people are all fancy and say data. Okay, and then you draw a, starts with a C, conclusion. So y'all remember the scientific method, don't you? Conclusion. Okay, now, real scientists, do you think they do or don't follow this exactly? What do you think? What did you say? They don't. Real scientists don't follow this exactly. That's a little shocking, isn't it? Then why did you spend all that time in elementary school learning it when real scientists don't even follow it? They just don't. A lot of time, but they don't just mess around throwing chemicals wildly, having a good old time. They follow certain scientific behaviors, and that are based on the scientific method, but they don't follow it exactly. They don't go, step 1, I need to state a problem. Step 2, I need to gather some information. But they sort of follow along. And in fact, a lot of things in science have been discovered on accident. The guy who was who made Post-it notes. He made the glue for Post-it notes. His job for his company was to make the world's strongest glue. And instead, he made the world's weakest glue, Post-it note glue. Glue that holds a minute, but then it'll let go whenever you want it to. And he was like, rats, I was a failure. I made the wrong thing. Well, he was somewhere else doing something else, and it just came to him, oh, maybe you could put it on a note, and the note would stick and unstick. Maybe that'd be useful. So see, he didn't start off with Post-it notes going, state the problem. We need a note that can stick and unstick. Number 2, let's do research on glues that can stick and unstick. No, he had on accident made a glue that could stick and unstick, and then he applied it to Post-it notes. Do you see sort of the difference in real science and the scientific method? Okay, so real scientists don't follow this exactly, but they do conduct experiments, make observations, and record data scientifically. They do it scientifically. They make careful observations like our burning water, and they write it down. The Mythbusters used to always say, if you don't write it down, it's not science, you're just messing around. So we don't want to just mess around, we want to do science. Yes, Alan, right?
Yeah. You know that Bill Nye wasn't actually a scientist?
What?
Bill Nye wasn't actually a scientist.
Yeah, no, he has an education degree. Not he's a teacher, not a scientist. Bill Nye, the science guy, isn't a real scientist.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and neither of you. Did y'all ever see Beekman? Beekman! Do 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 do. Y'all didn't see that? Beekman? That's how it starts. It's on YouTube. It's on like Pluto TV or something like that. One of those free TV apps. But anyway, he wasn't a scientist either. He was just an actor. Bill Nye was at least an educator. Beekman was just an actor. But I love that show. I still might show y'all some Beekman's world. He does a great job explaining buoyancy. All right, variables. Variables are sort of the things that are going on in an experiment, and they can have more than one value. Variables have more than one value. Good experiments change only one variable at a time. The unchanged variable is called the constant. And a standard where you compare your results to is called a control. Now, I have a degree in science, not education. So I know this. But when I'm sick, I throw it all out the window. When I'm sick, I will just try everything. So when it says, here, try zinc. Great, I'll take zinc. Here, try emergency. Great, I'll take the emergency. So I will try everything, and then I don't know which one actually worked to make me well. So I'm a good scientist until it comes to me being sick. And then I just panic and change all the variables at once. And I never know what worked. One time I was tutoring in the library, and there was a mom of one of my tutor kids that I was teaching math to. And she said, "You sound terrible." I'm like, this was before COVID, where you might actually go out if you felt terrible. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling too good either. She said, "Oh, I just got something at Kroger." And she hands me a handful of yellow pills. And I took them. Now, you should never do this. You should never just take pills from strangers that they give you someone gives you at the library, okay? But this was a mom I trusted. I figure she's not trying to kill or hook on drugs her son's math tutor. So I took them, and I got better, and I don't know if it was the pills or not. And I never found out what they were. But for a long time, they were in my little tutor pencil box. This was the little pencil box I'd take to the library to tutor with. And there might still be one in here now. But there are these yellow pills. But the funny thing is they would drive my cats crazy. My cats wanted to eat them so bad. So I think they might have been, my inference is maybe it was catnip. I don't know. But because my cats would just go nuts trying to eat those yellow pills. And I whenever I saw the mom, I always forgot to ask her. So don't do that. Instead, do good experiments where you only manipulate one variable at a time, not just throw everything against it and see what sticks. Miss Olivier, will you scroll for us again?
Yes. Sorry, I was coloring.
Good girl. All right, so there's two kinds of variables in science. There's dependent versus independent variables. How many of you have already learned this in math class? This is a math concept. Oh, at least somebody has. Okay, so the difference is, let me find